My first instincts were to not blame others for this loss, as it was expected. My team was down significant ammo, but they rallied, they went above and beyond, and really showed not only their fortitude, but their heart. They showed that even when the odds are stacked against us, they will produce, even when it is not expected of them, they will thrive, and even when the cupboards are bare, they can make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Finally, they showed that many of them can produce like I always knew they could. But, then I thought about it, and I realized I can blame some for my mishaps, and I would like to put the blame solely on the shoulders of the Atlanta Falcons, because I fucking hate them.
Bijan Robinson today received, this really was the Arthur Smith day. It's like his ghost haunted Atlanta.
I feel haunted.
Bijan Robinson had less carries today than Tyler Algier. This was a vintage 2023 performance. Tyler Algier had one more carry, had pretty much twice his yards. Bijan Robinson, fart or shart?
It's a shart.
Oh,
it's a shart. Let me tell you, I think we were ahead of the curve telling people not to take McCaffrey with the first pick. But you know what? Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson, these are the people we said, like, take them at the top of the draft. You know what? I have a new memento tattoo for next year. Like, something I'm going to tattoo on my body. I'm never taking an Atlanta Falcon ever again. I will never, as long as I fucking live, ever draft an Atlanta Falcon. I will never root for the team. I will never watch any of the players with any stakes. I will never bet on them. I will never do anything ever again. I will never have like a player who plays on offense for the Falcons ever again. Mark my words.
It apparently wasn't Arthur Smith who I hated. It was this organization, even if he is now fucking me with his utilization of George Pickens, but I digress. Drastic decisions were almost made, that would have resulted in me trading Tucker Kraft, with 32.8 points, for an old-ass Matthew Stafford, who only put up 5.95 more points, which is more than double the age gap between them. Not only that, but it would have cost me more than just the Kraft mac and cheese. Just goes to show my elite intuition, especially when it comes to making fantasy football trades. To Stroud, Swift, McLaurin, Kraft, Coleman, and Higgins, I would like to say, you are all stars, and I never doubted you for a second. Thank you for showing up, and letting our fantasy world of 10 see what I have always seen in you, which is elite talent, and big ol' balls, swinging past your knees.
Ask, and you shall receive. Alright, you play ball, we play ball. I know you want the goodies.
Welcome to the goodie room.
You paying attention? Cause I'm talking G5 for the picker. That's how you're gonna roll. No more frequent flyer bitch miles from my boy. Oh yeah. Player. Player. Big dick player.
Swinging past your knees.
Big dick baby.
Bijan, I don't blame you. You know good and damn well who is to blame for this performance, and damn it if I don't hate them for it. Pickens, I needed you, not only to help me in fantasy but to help me get a win over the fucking Cowgirls, and you failed me on both fronts. Or could it be that Arthur Smith, the Falcons' leftovers, failed me? The latter is probably most likely. Sutton and Wicks, there is no excuse for your performances, and you will be expected to produce more than a combined 10 damn points moving forward, or so help me God. You will be riding the pine harder than someone starting over Joe Flacco should be. 1-4 is not where anyone expected this team to be, and is in no way acceptable. I have looked myself in the mirror, and realized I have to put this solely on the shoulders of my supporting cast, the Atlanta Falcons, and the fantasy football gods for this start.
Leon, your reactions following today's devastating loss?
Football's a team sport, man. So, I gotta put the loss squarely on the shoulders of my supporting cast. Look, man, I've been carrying these guys the whole season, but I can't do it all. I need some help.
So, your 4 fumbles weren't a factor in your mind?
Not if one of those other guys would have jumped on the ball. Again, Leon can't do everything.
There's no I in team.
Yeah, well, ain't no we either.
But rest assured, this will be overcome. We will get this turned around, and it starts this week, coming with the return of significant starters that will lead the charge to much-needed victories. And now to the games. As previously discussed, I took a much-expected L this week. No congratulations goes to my opponent, as I was down several key pieces, and the performances some of my players put up gives me tremendous hope moving forward. With better management on my part, and Joe Burrow not capitalizing on screens going for like 150 fucking yards in total, which is some buttery bullshit, I might add, then I could have stolen a win, but almost only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and nuclear war, so I guess I will not make excuses and accept the loss for what it is.
Quick response, now one play, and Ja'Marr Chase 70 yards later with a quick response for the Bengals. The last 2 games, he's had 203 yards total and 3 touchdowns.
Luck, on Jeff's part, and nothing else. He even planted Wick's bum ass in my starting lineup, to sabotage me, and I took the bait. If it wasn't for Tucker Kraft, the Packers would be on similar playing fields as those fucking Falcons. Leland, oh my god, so fucking close, man. I wouldn't say it was necessarily a great performance on your part, more so just shit from Capo's side, could be karma for all the shit talking, but who knows. But Lee, I will say this, 204 points is only good enough to beat the previously undefeated Michael, who came crashing back down to earth this week, more on that later. Caleb finally looked like a number 1 pick, even though still overshadowed by the number 2 pick, and Garrett Wilson put up good numbers, along with Pitts and Stevenson, but it stops there. The rest of this team shit the bed in epic fashion. And old butt Rub Watson put up flex numbers. When are they gonna plant him on the massage table and call it over, like it so clearly is? That, or open up the massage parlors in Cleveland because he obviously is missing them fingers and butts, and it's affecting his play. Capo relied on your QB throwing to his wide receiver the entire game, and getting you both points. Who would have ever thought that the Bears were keeping fantasy football teams in a game? But it's true at least this week. Capo, I must ask, why are you not starting Money Mooney? Captain Kirk only throws to him, even when he should be throwing to Bijan. Chad, it finally happened. You found a team you couldn't outlast, and it was the 0-4 Dirty Birds, which is a play on the Falcons, so fuck them too. You needed more from the concussed Josh Allen, and I guess the return of Chubb is getting into Ford's head, that, or he is living up to his name Ford, standing for found on road dead. All of that, or you needed to not go against the GOAT himself, in Joe fucking Flacco. This man has aged like fine wine. He was cheeks when he was in his prime, but apparently just needed to hit retirement age, and show these young bucks how an old man slings the pill, for the 2nd straight year. Drake London and Brandon Ayuk finally decided to play, and it couldn't have come at a better time for Marcus, or a worse time for you, Chad, however you want to look at it. You still put up impressive numbers, but unlike you cowgirls, you were not able to steal an undeserved win this week. Paul, what happened? We discussed this. The whole crushing Blurry like the buggy is thing? But apparently, Captain Kirk is in his save-a-ho era, because he swooped in like Superman and grabbed Blurry's outstretched hand, as he begged for handouts, like the bum he is, and led him to the promised land. Lamar tried his best to save your ass, but it wasn't enough. Don't even get me started on Ja'Marr Chase, he killed me too, man, and it's some real bullshit, but I will say this, at least Chase did the work to earn the points, which is more than I can say for Frosted Tips having Joe Burrow. And wow, Blurry succeeded in what I could not, coming back from only having one QB, and the replacement Superflex shitting the bed. I was not so lucky. I would congratulate him, but, you know good and damn well, I ain't doing that shit. Michael, not only were you the lowest scorer, but you also went against the highest scoring team, which has to suck. I feel your pain there, my friend. Just be glad Josh was down some players, or that could have gotten real bad. Not that it wasn't already bad, but you get my point. Again, not surprised by this outcome. Your lack of points scored against you had to come to an end at some point. I just wish our luck would have flipped in my favor completely, but we all can't be so lucky. Josh, just a dominant performance all around. Trevor finally decided to get his hair out of his eyes and do something, and you got to capitalize on the Lawrence to Thomas connection, whose performances are going drastically under the radar this year. Michael, I find it offensive that you are starting Allgeier, and no, I'm not going to correct the pronunciation. He doesn't deserve the time, let alone the time he gets Volturing touches from Bijan. I feel as if that is you, personally wishing bad things on me, and I don't appreciate it, not one bit, so do like the Falcons should and put his ass on the bench for good, and let Bijan cook, like we all want him to. Next week starts the comeback tour for Shawboy, and Chad, I am not sorry it will need to come against you and your hurt-ass team, because, fuck Dallas. I would like to welcome back the likes of Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, David Montgomery, and Jared Goff, to my lineup, and let them continue where they left off, and the rest of my players, to continue to produce, the way they have finally shown they can. Hopefully, Josh gets suspended for cheating concussion protocol, and you are down another player. No hard feelings, just need wins by any means necessary, and I am not above wishing bad things on people. Leland, for the love of God, can you get a win next week against Blurry, and allow me to start catching him in the rankings? I know, asking for a win from you is like asking Diddy for some baby oil, he ain't giving that shit up. But if you could, make that happen, that would be greatly appreciated. Paul, this should be a good one. Michael is the luckiest team here, but that luck might have run out finally, and you might be able to get back on track with a win here. Jeff, Capo, I honestly couldn't give two shits which of you wins here. I just hope it's the two lowest scoring teams, because both of you are pains in my ass, and I wish bad things on both of your squads, as you know. Josh and Marcus, should be a clash of titans here, as both of you were the highest scoring teams last week, but are both aggressively underperforming for the season. Not that I can talk, but can you repeat? Should be interesting. Marcus, the ageless Joe Flacco can do it again, I just know it, and Josh, you should be getting our beloved A.J. Brown back, so this matchup gets my must-watch stamp of the week. As always, I wish all bad things on your teams this week, especially yours Chad, on both fronts. And let's all just take a second, to say a prayer for my birds, and hope they can get things turned around now that they should be healthy, and also take a second to say fuck Dallas, and fuck the Falcons, unless they decide to get Bijan going for me. If they do that, I will go back to quietly supporting my hero Bijan, and the teams he plays for as long as it is not against my birds, again. Until next week boys.